Hello, hello. It's time for another British Guy Reviews American Beer. And we've got another classic today. So, making my way through those old school American craft beers from back in the day when craft beer was just about coming onto the scene. So, today we've got a West Coast IPA, which I'm sure you will have heard of, and it is just IPA by Lagunitas Brewing Company. So this is a West Coast 6.2% ABV, and it describes itself as highly balanced and super drinkable. So I picked this bottle up. Actually, in my local Total Wine, they sell craft beer singles. So that's perfect for a beer reviewer. So I picked this up and I paid $1.79 for it. So good value for hopefully a solid West Coast IPA. Let's crack her open. So there we go. So it's a light amber colored beer, slight little bit of haze there, white, thinnish head, and I don't know if you can see, but there's quite a little bit of carbonation streaming up the middle of the glass there. The beer's very cold. I only took it out of the fridge probably 2 or 3 minutes ago, so I would say it's kind of muted on the aroma, more muted than I was thinking it was going to be. But the first impression is I really get a little bit of toffee caramel from the malts in the beer, and not getting a huge amount of hop aroma that I was expecting. There's kind of an earthiness, a light citrus, maybe a light pepperiness, but it smells like a super clean beer. So, all right, let's see what we get. Very, very different from the aroma, which was kind of muted, but the flavor is all there. You hit with a ton of hop flavor, pretty much straight off the bat. And it's nicely balanced. Again, it says it's balanced on the front of the bottle, so maybe it's leading me down that path. But it is nicely balanced with those caramel malts. The hop flavor is citrus. Um, it's lemon and orange, and then some grapefruit peel, orange peel there as well, some pine. From the aroma, if you'd have put that under my nose with a blindfold and asked me what style of beer I was smelling, I wouldn't have said a West Coast IPA. But for the flavor, it's absolutely all there. which is kind of interesting. Maybe if I'd let the beer warm up for 10 to 15 minutes and getting it to more of an ideal serving temperature, then I would have got much more on the aroma. Again, still, even giving the beer a swirl around, it's kind of it's it's really interesting. I might have even said that was a kind of almost a lager for the aroma, but very much on the taste. It's all West Coast IPA, which is again interesting, but hey, every beer is different, and this is a nice, drinkable West Coast. I think at that 6.2% ABV. Um, it's in the almost in that sessionable range, and it drinks super easy. And again, one thing I like about the one thing that makes an IPA drinkable for me is that on that kind of second swallow after you've drunk the beer, you get that little bit of bitterness at the back of the palate, and this certainly delivers that. It's not aggressive at all up front, and then just at the end you just get that little punch of bitterness, which is really nice. Um, at $1.79 a bottle, that's it's top quality beer. Um, so Lagunitas, a brewery from Northern California. I think they're in a town called Petaluma, and I'm not entirely sure exactly where that is, but I think it's kind of San Francisco way in Northern California. It's another beer again that's been around really since as far as I know, since kind of the craft beer market exploded. I think the Lagunitas IPA was one of those kind of West Coast IPAs that was part of the explosion, and you can see why. Very nice, very drinkable, and yeah, definitely a beer that I would go and buy again. And quite often, with these beers, you see them everywhere. Um, you go into bars, and you'll see the big IPA on the tap handle, um, and you go into the supermarkets and you see the Lagunitas IPA. And I think sometimes it's a little bit tempting to say, well, if it's everywhere, then it's probably one that I'm going to avoid. And again, we live in that world of Untapped where we're always looking for something new. But if you're looking for a solid West Coast at, again, $1.79 a bottle, super easy drinking, then this is definitely a beer that you should look to pick up and enjoy. Rating wise, I'm going to give that a I'm going to be try not to be influenced by the fact that it's $1.79 a bottle, and you can pay way through the odds, um, or way through the roof for good beer. But I'm going to try and judge it for what it is and not necessarily for the value. So I will give that a um, I'll give that a 3.8 out of 5. Very good. I always say if I'm above that kind of 3.7, 3.75 mark, that's a beer that I would definitely recommend to people to go out and try. So yeah, Lagunitas IPA, 3.8 out of 5, very enjoyable, very drinkable, and I'm going to enjoy finishing off this glass after I finish the review. So if you enjoyed the review, I'd love to hear your comments. Have you tried the Lagunitas IPA? Is it the same beer that it was all those years ago when it first came to the market? I don't know. I don't know if I've ever had it before, strangely. So let me know. Has it changed over the years? Is it still that same beer? Let me know in the comments. As ever, if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Cheers.